Welcome to Bahati, talking about real issues that are affecting you as an individual. Insights about financial and personal growth, plus better relationships. And now, Bahati.
Yes, we are taking on the nations, we are trailblazing, we are changing the world, we are transforming lives, and a lot is happening around us, and I love that for us, okay? I love that for you and I, not just for me, but for you and I. I cannot exist without you. I am here because of you, and I think you are there because of me, because so many of you have encouraged me, so many of you have held my hands, so many of you have given me feedback, you have loved on me. And I mean, I don't have any hesitations whatsoever serving you and us being able to serve humanity. So we are here today, and I want us to start with our prayer as usual, coming from the Trailblazer. It's a daily prayer, a planner, and a business workbook. I will tell you how to get it shortly. But for now, today's prayer says, may you hear the message this season of your life is offering. May that message give you wisdom, energy and peace, and may you get clarity about what step to take next and the confidence to take it. Now, for me, this prayer, and I pray this over you, that indeed God will give you the clarity about your next step, about your next decision, about whatever it is that you need to be able to do in this season, and that you will have the tranquility and the peace to pause and listen to the message of this season and what your body, what the surrounding, what God, what the people, what message the world has to offer you right now, and that you will be able to get the revelation of who you really are, the authentic you, and that you will fulfill the purpose for which God placed you on this earth. Okay? And I pray that in the name of Jesus. All right, so I want us to be able to dive in. If you're wondering how to be able to get this, it has a schedule attached to it. You have your notes actually to take, and then we have it has a business the 10 laws, indisputable laws of entrepreneurship in this same journal. We talk about purpose finding, and we talk about how to be able to elevate your purpose and create your personal brand in this same journal. You can be able to get it if you are the kind that watches TV or online, Spirit TV, or you're watching us online, and you can be able to access Media Plaza, Kamocha Media Plaza, 3rd floor. I'll give it to you at 50,000. On the market rate, it's going to add 70 or 80, depending on the bookshop where it is. But at Media Plaza, I'm going to give it to you at 50,000. So make sure that you actually get your copy so we can grow together. Okay, so let me just get into what I want us to talk about today. I just have 5 concerns. And after we talk about these 5 concerns, believe me, I'm just going to let you be and let you make your own decision. But you realize that the decisions that we make, they either make us sink, or they make us thrive, or they actually make us survive. And we have said so many times on this talk that we are not going to live on the survival mode. We are not going to live in the sinking mode. We are not going to live like we don't know what's happening with our lives and then we are self-sabotaging. We are not going to live on those levels. We are going to live on level number 3, where we are going to thrive, and there is no thriving for us without the knowledge of God and without the hand of God. So we have chosen to say we are going to talk about personal growth, but we are going to join that personal growth to the spiritual side, to God, because there is no walk of personal growth where you can exclude God and you think you are actually going to make it in life. Okay, so today's concern, I just wanted us to talk about that your journey of finding yourself, okay? And there's some statements that I'm going to make that I want us to be able to break down and be able to understand. I know that we're at different levels in our lives, levels where some of us have already found our purpose, where some of us already have a revelation of who we must be. And the word revelation, I think so many times it is used in the spiritual aspect, and so many people get used to it that way. But a revelation revelation is just an unveiling or getting to know a deeper layer of yourself. Like there's something inside of you, but now there's a revelation that you have come to know a little bit more of that thing that resides inside of you. And I usually say that we are all called to purpose. We are all called to greatness. There is a blueprint of greatness inside of us that so many of us have not had a revelation about, okay? So as you watch these shows, as we engage, as we talk, I need us to have different revelations at different spaces in our lives and places in our lives that will cause us to know us in the authentic, genuine us, okay? So the number one statement that is part of my concerns today is that your presence on this planet has a purpose. Your presence. It's possible that I'm talking to someone who has lost hope. It's possible that I'm talking to you that is questioning your existence on earth. I'm talking to you that is busy comparing yourself to others and thinking, I don't think there's anything great about me, but I think there's everything great about everyone else. I want to tell you, I'm talking to someone, maybe you're going through a lot of turmoil and a lot of turbulence and a lot of problems in your life, and you've just lost hope and you're giving up on life and you're thinking, I don't think that there's anything more to my life. I am just a normal human being that was just born, and the time is going to come and I'm going to die, and it's just not a biggie. Like these days people say it's not a biggie, like it's not a big deal. Let me tell you, you are a big deal. Because it's possible that when your parents conceived you, they were just having the fun of their life, and it was a mistake for them to conceive you, and you're one of those unplanned kids, like we call them today, and so you're thinking, you know what, my life is so fake, I don't think I will ever amount to anything. Let me tell you, God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. That means you are not an accident. When someone forms you, that means they deliberately thought that you have a purpose. And some of us, when we talk about purpose, now I'm thinking about it, and it has just dawned on me. We're talking about purpose, but so many of us don't even know what the word purpose is. Now, let's break it down into the simplest of terms. Purpose is use. Use. For example, when you have a bowl, its use is you can fetch water, you can get water, you can be able to bake in it, you can be able to put food in it, you can be able, if you have a saucepan is used to cook, a frying pan is used to fry, a pot is used to store water, drinking water, and some of them are used to cook. And then we have vases, and some of them are used for plants, some of them are just vases that look good, they don't even need plants. So you realize that there is a use for everything literally that we have created. That means we have creators that have created things that have use. Okay, that a bulb is used to give light. Okay, that a chair is useful that you can sit on it. Okay, a phone is useful. So a phone has a purpose, and its purpose is to serve me, the one that bought it, that I will feed it with information and that it will give me exactly what I need to give. So it is useful, it is purposeful to me. So that means if your life on this planet has a purpose, that means that there is a use for which you were created. And that means your creator, when he was going to create you, he knew that this is what you are going to do. That is why I celebrate our differences. Because in the difference, therein exists beauty. Because what I can't do, someone else can do. Okay, what I can't fulfill, someone else can do. So I am not there to say, oh mama, that pot, it stores water, but for me I'm just a knife. You know, so I am not that useful. I think a pot is more useful. So do you see how comparison is a trap? It is a trap. And a trap to be able to kill the greatness that is inside of you. Because if you got a revelation that I am a pot, and a pot I am supposed to carry water, then you would have carried water, because a knife can never carry water. Because, it will never. A spoon will never carry water. A fork will never carry water. But a fork can be used to eat. Now a spoon would have said, but a fork is more useful because then it can hook and fork into the food and then someone can eat. But again, there are certain foods, for example, like a soup, that we cannot eat with a fork. Have you ever eaten a soup with a fork? That will be disturbing, very disturbing. Now, do you see? I want us to know purpose in the simplest of forms, just to show you that you carry a significance, you carry an important mission on this earth, and that if you don't get a revelation of that, then you are doing a great disservice. Just imagine if it was only a fork on this world and we didn't have any form of spoon. And you know that even with spoons, there are big spoons and there are small spoons. There are teaspoons and there is a soup spoon. I don't know whether you have seen soup spoons and how they look like. They look ambiguous because, they have a wider surface, okay? And you realize that we are different for a reason, and that is where comparison should never. And if you need to study more about comparison or get more knowledge about comparison, I need you to go to my YouTube channel and be able to look out, how to kill or how to do away with comparison. I know that it's going to take you a milestone. So you are a planned kid in the eyes of God. I have seen pictures of people posting their babies and, hashtag planned kids. And they look like spoiled kids. You know, spoiled kids, like kids who, I planned for everything when you were coming to earth. So you are literally not lacking. And they just look like they're chilling all the time. Even when they're babies, they just look like they are chilling. Let me tell you, so many of us, our parents didn't plan for us. But one thing that encourages me, that ever since I got to know the plan and the purpose of God about my life, then I got to know that there was a reason as to why I was born, where I was born, to the parents I was born to, and why I was not planned for, and why everything has happened up until now, that I may fulfill the purpose of my Creator. And the purpose of my Creator is that I will hold your hand, is that I will ignite you, is that I will motivate you, is that I will get you out of the hiding, is that I will help you find your purpose, is that I will help you redefine your life, is that I will hold your hand in every season of life, that you will be able to grow into the best versions of yourself. So if that is my purpose, I might as well just do that and chill. I'm done. I've arrived, And I know that God keeps unveiling and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. It's been 18 years? Me practicing my purpose, and God has been unveiling one layer after another. That is why I call it a revelation, okay? So you are planned, and you are not a relational accident. God designed you with a purpose in mind, with a destiny in mind, okay? And it's very possible that, yes, your parents just did that act to conceive you, but God said, I have the gifts that I want to place inside of you. I have your calling placed inside of you. I have this blueprint of greatness placed inside of you. So they just helped me bring this body on earth, but again, I already had an orchestrated. I think the Bible says that He predestined a good future. He predestined. When you predestine, is you are basing from the beginning and looking at the end of whatever it is that you are creating, and you're looking at the bigger picture and saying, this is good, okay? You're going to mold it to be that picture, but you're saying, I have predestined greatness. I have predestined a good life. That is why He says that the thoughts that He has for us are thoughts to prosper us and a thought to give us a good ending, okay? It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. The Bible says that, you can cry, tears can come through the night, but joy comes in the morning. That means that seasons flip, times change, and you can be in the darkness, not knowing yourself, and all of a sudden things can flip after you watching this, and you all of a sudden know that I'm important. I don't know how important I am, but I'm going to find out how important I am. If I need to go for mentorship, if I need to find a coach, if if I need to be able to make a call, if I need to book a session, if I need to read, if I need to pray, whatever I need to do, I'm just going to do that to make sure that I find my purpose, okay? So, before he formed you in your mother's womb, he knew you. So you are not an accident. Number 2 of my concern. Remember, we're talking about my concerns. And my concerns are very valid, because I have mentored people into greatness that I even fear and I cannot even imagine. And I look at them and I'm like, did you come out of my hands? Did you, as in, what did, and I don't see what I did, but in my heart, sometimes God tells me, you just partnered with me, you just said yes to your calling, and I am accelerating whoever steps into your hands into their greatness. I have seen people make more money. I have seen people build better families. I have seen people gain more happiness. I have seen people get out of the valleys in their lives. I have seen people fight for their lives, like literally fight for their lives. I have seen people make better decisions. Let me tell you, if I decide to praise God all my life, it's because I have seen that God is a changer of people. I have seen that God can make people prosper only if they find their purpose and only if they come into the full revelation of who God thinks about them. Number 2 of my concern is that your purpose is an answer to a problem. I want you to make these concerns your concerns as well. Because as you make them your concerns, then you're going to understand why you were created. And let me tell you, you will never cry again. You will never lack again. And you will never live a bad life ever again. Okay? So your purpose, okay, is an answer to a problem. Because every time a creator, an innovator creates, they are creating something to solve a problem that wasn't solved prior to that or before that creation. Just imagine, whoever created manicure I think he looked at the ladies and like the ladies were really bored with their nails. I was like, you know what, let me just create something to spice up these nails. Okay, so that means the creator, do you know how much money that industry makes? Manicure and pedicure? My goodness. Do you know how much money spas make? Someone just got a revelation that, you know what, I can get essential oils out of natural herbs and I can be able, and people are actually using them. Just imagine, whoever created a car solved a problem of transportation. Okay? Whoever created a phone solved a problem of communication. Whoever created a microphone solved a problem of sound. Okay? So you realize that every creator was solving a problem. So your purpose is to solve a certain problem. It's possible that you actually don't know what problem to solve. And that is where mentorship is needed. That is why we go through finding out what you're passionate about, who you are as a person, what value, what skills you already have, what more skills can you attain, what is your niche, what are you passionate about. As in, we go through step by step with you to be able to find that and be able to find the problems that can be cured, that can be solved by your purpose. Okay? So I don't want you to sit there and say, oh, I can't do it on my own. If you can't do it on your own, get someone. If you can't do it with someone, read the books. Go to videos. Do anything that will take you closer to knowing your purpose and that revelation that I'm talking about. Okay? So whoever created a bulb to solve the issue of light. Okay? It's possible that, electricity was there, but there was no way of transmitting that electricity into light. So someone made a bulb, and we all know the story of the man, I even forget his name, of the man that made the bulb, that he actually tried so many times, even up to more than 100 times. And every time he was getting it wrong. But every time he got it wrong, he got a little bit wiser. He knew how not to do it again. So next time he tried something different. He tried something different until all of a sudden, the bulb came on, the light came on. So, I mean, electricity was used for so many things, but light was one of those components of electricity, of solar, so someone created a bulb. So there is something that is inside of you, okay? And the problems in your life, which sometimes you refer as to the Goliath in your life, they are going to fall down for as long as you get to know the potential that you carry, the potential to solve the problems. Because we usually say that people pay for value, okay? And people pay for their problems to be solved. So that means if you're solving my problem, because I can't take pictures and I can't take videos, I am going to place my work in the hands of those that can actually do the videos and edit the videos and do the photos. That is why photo studios are getting a lot of money. That is why photographers are getting a lot of money. That is why printers are getting a lot of money. Why? They are solving a problem. And some of us think that callings and purpose is all about standing and speaking to people or doing what I am doing. No. And this is what I tell to the people that come sign up for the mentorship, for accelerated mentorship. It's a 7 weeks program, online program, 7 weeks online program where we dive into your purpose. And we have found that sometimes people come and they want to be coaches and they want to be speakers, but when naturally they're actually supposed to be a chef. And so when they keep asking questions, some of them get to a crossroad and say, but I am passionate about this, but I'm also passionate about helping people. And I'm like, it's okay. You can help the people. You can speak into their lives. Well, I'm going to give you the skills. But again, you cannot leave your fashion skill. You cannot leave your cooking skill. That is a skill that is needed. It's an answer to a problem. Have you ever had a chef cook a very good meal that you couldn't have cooked for yourself? I mean, bakers, they bake cakes and we go and buy. They are solving our sweet tooth problem. I don't know if some of you have a sweet tooth problem like I have. You take me to a candy shop, a chocolate shop, a cake shop, I will tell you I've arrived. I'm not going away from here. I don't know if some of you have that problem, but they are solving our problem. Even when some of them are creating more problems for us, but still they are solving our problems. Okay, so a comparison even in that aspect about who is helping who do what, because remember, your purpose is a solution to a problem. Your purpose is a solution to a problem. I don't want you to look at yourself and say, but the problem I solve is too small and the problem he solves is too big. No. You make the problem you solve actually big, okay? You are the one that sometimes it takes you telling people the problem they have and how you can be able to solve them. For example, some people don't know they are depressed, but sometimes when you highlight, for all the forums, for all the companies I have gone to speak about depression and mental health and stuff like that, some of them have been like, I didn't know, but I was depressed. I think I need help. So sometimes we need to talk about the problems, highlight the problems for people to know that they're actually going through the problems. Okay? So you can't be there and say, but I solve a smaller problem. Then a problem is a problem. There are so many people who will need your service, but because you're not talking about it, because you've not built a personal brand, because you've not come out to vividly address it, because you are not super interested, you have not immersed yourself, no one knows that this is what you're doing. Okay? There are people that their purpose is they're just solving people's backs, they're healing people's backs. And there was a gentleman that I knew, he even flew out of the country to go and learn how to do it and came back, and he used to be at Riders and he used to have this signpost and said, bye-bye, backache. Let me tell you, I thought it was a joke until I went to his station, like where he had put a camp, and there were all sorts of people and in hundreds paying money in order, because he had come with machines and he had come with, he had trained some people to do some massages on the back, and he had trained, so whoever failed in the major hospitals in this country would actually go and camp at his station, and people were paying money. That guy got a lot of money. Why? All he was doing was bye-bye back pain. Do you know how many people have back pains in this country? You don't know the number. Nearly every woman that gives birth or has given birth has had an issue with a back pain. Nearly every elderly person has a back pain. How many old people do we have? So many. People have fallen. People have had accidents. People have, as in so many things have happened. And someone just chose and said, I'm going to solve the issue of a backache. And that's all. Just a slogan, bye-bye backache. And he is getting a lot of money, building buildings, and paying school fees for his children and having the time of his life. Okay, so I need you to, we've just talked about 2 concerns. We still have 3 more to go. I need us to take a break, but when we come back, we start right there.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
Did you know that you can acquire a skill in less than 3 months? Dynamic Media School skills you in TV and radio presenting, motion graphics, graphics designing, control room management, show production, audio production, confidence building, lighting and videography, personal branding, social media management, cinematography, video editing, marketing and sales, and effective communication. This is designed to provide practical skills and hands-on experience with the focus on developing critical thinking, research, and communication skills. You will have access to high-quality learning materials, including online lectures and other resources, as well as a dedicated team of facilitators and influencers who are available to assist you with any questions or concerns that you might have. Enroll today. Call 0702 021 834 or WhatsApp 0760 881 331. Dynamic Media School is an excellent choice for anyone looking to start or advance their career in this exciting and dynamic field. You don't get the life that you deserve, but that which you decide. It's time for you to decide to dominate your life. You don't do that by just having passion, you need a plan. Let's show you how you grow practically in character, competence, and in other areas of life. Welcome back to Bahati.
So we said comparison is a trap. I don't want you to try, as in if you can only concentrate on where you are and the problem that you solve, okay? Then you're going to find out that there are more of those problems in our society, and you just don't have to, to compare yourself to other people. But my prayer for you in this regard and in this concern is that you will have the courage to be you. You will have the courage to be authentic. You will have the courage to appreciate who you are, the things that you have gone through, that God has prepared you up until now to be able to tackle that problem, to handle that problem, and to be able to be a solution, to bring so much value to the people. And that when we talk about purpose, passion, and paycheck, that purpose is not just purpose to make you feel good and to solve problems, but people are actually going to pay you when you solve their problem, when you give them the value. And so that means it ends in a paycheck, okay? It ends in a celebration. Let's go to number 3 very quickly because we need to be able to complete them. Okay, your purpose is a problem to the devil. Your problem, your purpose is a problem to the devil, okay? Because God gives solutions to problem. God is the biggest, so that is why we go to him in prayer. That is why we say, take it to him in prayer. When you take it to him in prayer, then he solves your problem. Definitely, he's not going to snap his finger and your problem is going to vanish. No, he's going to enable you to make better decisions. He's going to enable you to encounter destiny helpers. He's going to enable you fall in the hands of a good mentor. He's going to enable you go to a surrounding that will nurture the potential inside of you and the purpose inside of you. That is how God uses human beings to answer our problems. For example, when I pray and I'm praying for the missions, I usually pray for the missions that I have. The missions about beyond success, when we go to the villages to, to take transformation, when we take pads to the school kids out there, when we actually go have projects where we are paying school fees for children that are wise, but they don't have the privilege, the less privileged children. So whenever I pray, and I'm like, God, I pray that you provide according to your to your supply in heaven. I pray that to your riches in glory. I pray that you supply. I pray that you provide, because I am giving the little that I have, but I pray that you multiply it. Let me tell you, God does not just snap his finger to multiply that money. No. He uses human beings. There are people that have called us and just say that, you know what, to that cause, I am going to give $300. To that cause, I'm giving $1,000. To that cause, I'm giving a million shillings. To that cause, I'm giving 50 shillings. And let me tell you, the people that beat my mind are people who will constantly give 10,000 every month, and they will be true to their cause. And every month, with a reminder or without a reminder, they will be giving that money. And we'll be giving them accountability, where it has gone, whose fees has been paid, who has received the pads, who has received the transformation. And let me tell you, it is beautiful to witness. Why? Because God uses human beings. That is why I'm telling you, you are not without use. You are very useful. But your use, your purpose is a problem to the devil. Because God is the solution giver, but the devil is the problem causer, okay? He causes the problems. He stirs out the problems. Because the reason as to why some of us have gone through so many things in life, it's because of the calling upon your life. Let me tell you, the bigger the calling, and this is where I don't want you to operate in darkness. I want you to operate, because even when you operate in darkness or in not knowing, and some of us say that not knowing is bliss, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance just makes you a direct target. A direct target, because that means you have no shield, because you have no knowledge. Ever since I got to know that my purpose is people building and holding people's hands, I got to know that the devil has attacked me in so many ways, and I got to know how to strategically position myself in God, how to pray for myself, how to pray for my family, and how to pray for everyone that comes through my hands. Because I know that the moment you get the revelation of your calling and your use and what you must contribute to this earth, the devil is not happy. He's not happy. He will attack you left, right, and center, using people, using sicknesses, using whatever attacks. He will try as much as he can. Why does he want to do that? To demoralize you, that you will stop doing what you are doing, because what you are doing is helping so many people. He will, my goodness, he will try to get you to compare yourself. He will try to get you dissatisfied with who you are naturally. He will try to get you to not even have a proper revelation of who you are, to even not know the gift that you have. Because sometimes what you have inside of you cannot be activated until you have a knowledge of what you have. And then you'll be like, hey, all along, I had this inside of me. So that is how it's like you having a pistol and you're fighting, but you don't know that you have a pistol. So you're using your hands, you're kicking, you're doing everything, but you would not have let the devil get to you. You would have used your pistol at a distance and you would have shot at the enemy. But because you are ignorant about who you are and what you have, you are using a lot of energy and you are not making any headway in your life. So the moment you get to know, and the moment I got to know, some of these concerns, the reason as to why I'm talking about them is because I have gone through all of them, and that is why I have put them, I have lined them up and said, I want to open your eyes, and I want God will open your eyes to who you truly are, the gifts that you have inside of you, the purpose for which you were called, and to know that that purpose is fought, okay? That purpose, and let me tell you, the devil knows you better than you know yourself. and he believes in you more than you know. You're the enemy. He believes in you more than you believe in yourself. Why? Because he has a revelation of what you can become. That is why he's trying to limit you right now by causing you to self-sabotage and make wrong decisions and have wrong groups of people and have self-pity of I can never amount to anything, but I even come from a small family. Do you remember whose name, what name was that? Gideon? Do you remember Gideon? You know, God knows that he has created a greatness, that he can save his nation and he can save the nations around him. But he is, I mean, there, just, you know, threshing the wheat, okay? And he says that you're a mighty man of valor. And he says, wait a minute, I come from the smallest family, okay? Like, I mean, our family, our clan is the smallest. We are nothing. We have never amounted to anything. We have those stories that we keep telling ourselves, we keep rehearsing. And even when we feel the slightest call of God on our lives or the slightest value we can give, we talk ourselves out of value very quickly. And we are like, you know what? But I mean, we have not gone to school. We are not even wealthy. We are not even rich. As if God uses rich and wealthy, the ones that have gone to school. Let me tell you, God will use anyone that avails themselves. Because when you avail yourself, that means you have had even the smallest revelation of there's something more inside of me. So I am going to say, here I am, Lord, use me. Okay? So, whether you know it or you don't know it, you are going to be fouled. You are going to be, let me just give an example, that you give money to someone, but you don't tell them that you have given them money, okay? And because I think there's a story I had of someone who did that from the bank. He put the money in a kavera, in a polythene bag, and gave it to someone, but didn't tell them that it was money. Because her thinking was that if I tell them that it is money and it is a lot of money, then they're going to be self-conscious, and that means anything can happen. They can actually lose this money. So gave this person this money and, and different bags and different other things. So this person carried the things like normally. But little did this person know that she was being followed. From the bank, someone knew that she had withdrawn a lot of money. And then this person got out of the bank with the polythene bag. So these people were actually watching. When she got to a place and handed over all her belongings to this person, without even mentioning that there is money in there, the people took their target, now became this other person that was given the luggage and not the person that got the money from the bank. Okay? So they actually started following and they actually stole the money from the person, from the messenger, the one that was being sent. And then this lady at the end of the day, there is a statement that she made. She even didn't know that I had given her money. How could they have stolen that money from her? She didn't know that she had the money. But the enemy that was following her knew that you had passed on something to her, because you came out of the bank with luggage and with a polythene bag, and you handed over the luggage and the polythene bag to someone else, and you were being followed, but you didn't know. So even when they didn't have the knowledge of possessing that money, the enemy knew that they had that money. So that is where your ignorance does not. Your ignorance. God, the devil knows that God deposited something inside of you. He knows that he deposited greatness inside of you. And what he wants is to smother it. What he wants is to strangle it. What he wants is to kill it before its maturation, before it grows, before it becomes a formidable force to fight with, before it blesses the nations, before it innovates and creates things that are going to shake this nation. Do you think the people that have created things in this world, they have blue blood? They don't have blue blood. They have normal blood. Okay? They are normal people, normal human beings. That means if you try to do something, you can make the biggest fashion house in this country or on the continent. You can make the biggest restaurant. For those of you that followed the cookathon, that was I don't know. I think the Guinness Books of World Book of Record, they talk about the the person that has cooked the best, or the best chef in the world, or something like that. They break a record, and so Hilda in Nigeria actually went in for the cookathon, or did the cookathon, but the amount of people that were supporting, she stood for 90 something hours without sitting, without resting, like she cooked for a whole, I think it was like 5 days in a row, and she cooked, I think it was 1,000 different meals, like she was not. And she broke a record, even when she broke it for a few months, because immediately after that, there was another guy in India who was like, you know what, I'm taking the world record. I mean, you've broken it, but I'm taking it in a week or 2 or 3. And the guy broke the record again. And so she only enjoyed it for a few minutes. But while it lasted, she said she had to prepare for it. She said she did so many other things, and she felt they were not fitting. But her mother was a local cook who used to cook on the village. So she learned how to cook from her mother. And that was her passion. And during the cookathon, she fed over thousands of people. And thousands of people were standing. They were not going night and day. And they were just chanting, you know, you can make it. We are behind you. And not just Nigeria. Guess what? She had supporters in Uganda. She had supporters on every continent. She had supporters in every country of the world. They were all standing behind her and telling her, you can make it. Because Africans badly wanted to break that record. And someone said, here I am. And prior to that, the kind of, gymnastics and the kind of exercises she had to make, she had to cut weight, she had to prepare for that season of her life, but she knew there was a gift inside of her. So I don't want you to take it lightly, okay? Your gift is a problem. Number 4, let's just run, because I can never exhaustively handle these things. The devil causes problems for those who will be a problem for him. So we said that your purpose is a problem to the devil. So if the devil knows that your purpose is a problem to him, he is definitely going to be a problem to you. He is going to be like that stone in the shoe for you. He is going to try left, right, and center. That is why I usually tell the people that come through the mentorship, and I tell them that, you know what, you have been entrusted with a very big mission. The devil fights that mission. There is no way we can talk about purpose and we don't talk about God. And there is no way we can talk about purpose and we don't talk about the devil that attacks the purpose. And that is where we lose it. Because the moment you come out to do what you are God-given, the devil is not happy. And that is why I say, as a people helper, as a creator, as you can never separate your life from prayer. You can never separate your life from the covering of God. You can never separate your life from good decisions. Okay? You can never separate your life from a community that gives you accountability, a community that encourages you, a community that loves on you, because you need as much encouragement, you need as much resilience, you need as much support, and you need so many prayers to be able to break even, to break through, and to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because if you don't limit yourself, the devil is out there to actually limit you, okay? And sometimes you ask yourself, why do I keep getting these issues? It's because you're a problem. Yeah, I know I'm a problem. I've said it so many times. I am a problem, and I am a problem to the devil. I'm a problem to mediocres. I'm a problem to, to people who are not maximizing themselves, so that when they see me, they will feel like a sajja kumutima, and they will be like, but what is she doing? And I'm like, you know what? I am doing me. How about you? Can you do you? Can you stay in your lane? Can you mind your purpose? Can you mind your business? Okay? But the reason as to why you ask yourself, oh, but why am I going through some of the things? Let me tell you, when you are entrusted with the biggest gift. That is when you are tempted to be more lazy. That is when you're tempted to be weaker. That is when you're tempted to not show up every day. That is when you're tempted. Otherwise, for the people who are doing nothing, I think the devil looks at them and says, for you, already you're not doing anything, so I'm not going to bother myself with you. So sometimes when you feel like life is just going swiftly and nothing, no hurdles, no dissatisfaction, no frustration, just know you're headed the wrong direction, or you are at a wrong speed, or you are not doing the right thing that you are supposed to do, because everything significant and everything useful is uphill. Okay, so that is where you have to ask yourself, because even for some of us, I will give an example of myself. For so many people that look at me would just have a thought of maybe she's somewhere in life. Let me tell you, I am not satisfied with where I am and the things that I have done. I am not. That is why I will be very prayerful that every morning I come to office, I will take an hour to pray, to seek the face of God, to hear from God. I will not tire. I will not give up. I will not. Otherwise, I would have said, okay, I live a good life. Okay, maybe I'm not so bad. Maybe. I do not want maybe. I do not want maybe. And some of us have settled for maybe. And let me tell you, when you settle, the devil rejoices and claps his hands and says, yeah, that is an early arrival and a cause of death. And that is where he will be the one to even call your death, and will be like, time of death, and he will call your time of death. No, the devil is not calling time of death on me. I still have a very huge purpose to live and a life to live, and I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. Okay? So I need you to know the reason as to why it's warfare. Warfare. I hope I'm speaking to people that understand what I'm talking about, because otherwise, if you don't have this revelation, this is going to be totally a strange message for you. But it's a concern for me, and it's a concern for God, and that is why we are sharing it. Okay? And just like I said, the devil has an idea of who you are going to become, okay? And warfare is usually a confirmation. For me, when I am fighting, when I'm going through hurdles, when I'm going through dissatisfaction, the frustration, how I want to get out of stagnation, I want to get to the next level, I want to experience a different dimension altogether. The warfare that I am going through, for me, it's a confirmation that my eye has not seen and my ear has not even heard what God is prepared to do for me. It is a confirmation that there is anxiety in the camp of the enemy, and he's not settled, and he's upset. And when he gets upset, he attacks. That is why you cannot be a people helper and you are not working with God, hand in hand with God. You will get tired, you will give up, you will be beaten, you will be weary, you will be attacked, and eventually, that is why we get to ask ourselves, and this is a question that Tim asked me when I was beginning, and that should have been like, more than 17 years ago. He told me, when there are other coaches, like other therapists, when there are other people helpers, I was like, yeah, they were there. And he was like, but where are they right now? And clearly in that there was a season where like there was no one. Like when I came to this scene of people helping, there was no one, like literally no one. Because I didn't have anyone to mentor me into who I am today, to tell me the things that I am sharing with you. No one was there to do that. Luckily enough, I had God to teach me. And luckily enough, God gave me a mentor that actually helped me, that was not a counselor or coach or in that time, but had the knowledge and the wisdom of God to be able to hold my hand in those seasons, to make tough decisions and to make good decisions, and to be able to elevate me and to get to where I am. Okay? And that was God-given. That was God-given. Okay? So the devil knows that when God turns that page and you get to your next level, he will be done and he will be gone, like it will be I've talked about my story so many times. Just imagine if the devil had hindered who I am today and got me at secondary level, primary level, because there were so many times where the attacks and so many things were happening. I could have made one blunder, I could have made one stupid decision, I could have made, and even when you make the stupid decisions and the foolish decisions, God has a way of redeeming you, okay? So that means it's never done. Even when the enemy attacks you right now and he deters you, he limits you, there is a way God redeems you, and he can redeem the time and give you all the lost time. That is why in God everything is not lost. You can actually start somewhere. So the devil is upset because you have you've been snatched out of his clothes so many times, okay? And he should have killed you when he had the chance, but if he didn't kill you, right now he has no authority over you. And I've said it so many times that the devil has no right to kill us or kill our dreams or kill our calling. What he does, however, is he influences you to self-sabotage. He influences you to make wrong decisions. And then those wrong decisions get you stuck in the wrong seasons of your lives. And then you get frustrated because you are stagnant. And then you give up on your life and you lose hope. That is the strategy of the enemy. However, when God comes, he says he gives us life and life in its fullness. And so that is why he will send people to remind you, to shake you, to wake you up, to remind you that you are useful, there is a purpose for which you were created, and just do not give up, not for anything. Okay? So I need us to just run to number 5. Number 5, which is the last one. Okay? That is, most people don't know how big a problem they are to the devil, so their problems from the devil don't make sense. I know some of us have not made sense of the things that we are going through, but that is where I'm pointing you to your Creator. I'm pointing you to your God, that from God you got this gift, from God you got this calling, and to God you are supposed to go back when the problems don't make sense, because you don't know how big you are and how you're being attacked. Okay, I usually tell people when it comes to the area of marriage and family and just being able to help other people create better marriages, I think the devil knew for so long that if I just God snatched me out of his clothes, that God will give me the anointing and the audacity to be able to help people to create better homes and better relationships. That is why I took long for some people that have heard about my story through singlehood and through deciding who to marry and, you know, committing my life. Like, it was a point of disorganization. It was a point. So some of us don't know that those are attacks, the delays, the heartbreaks, that those are attacks, because he knows that if you make the right decision, you'll be out of his league and he will not know what to do with you. Like, the devil knows. So he's like, I am going to limit this person. Okay, and the types of problems that the devil brings, I will do this in a minute, that he brings self-inflicted problems, that is the wrong decisions. Remember, I told you he influences you to make the wrong decision. And number 2, he will actually, life will be lifing, because there are different types of problems. Life will be lifing. There is problems, no more life problems, and sometimes the devil is just busy stirring up, you know, havoc and attacking and all that. So what we need is discernment to be able to know what the difference is. And then so many times he will try to stop us from getting the revelation. That is what I started with, okay? So that we can overthink. That is what he does. His tactics: overthinking, overanalyzing. When people are calling for mentorship, when people are saying, you know, I can help you, I can add value to you, when someone tells you to read, when someone tells you to do this, so you're critiquing and overanalyzing everything. A pastor, a speaker, a coach, a mentor, or the people in your life, you're over-analyzing and over-delaying. You're not making the decisions, and that is the tactic of the enemy, why we never make the progress to actually what we are supposed to do. And sometimes the devil just utterly limits us, okay? He limits you from even using your potential fully. he will limit you in so many ways. And sometimes the devil limits you by stagnation, just you being content with where you are and not seeking to grow to a better version of yourself, because every level you serve at different types of people. You serve different types of people. And the more levels you go to, the more growth you have, the more people you are serving. So I don't want you to be a dwarf in your journey. I want you to grow. I want you to fully maximize your potential. Okay? And God wants you to do that. Remember, you are useful and your purpose is a problem. But if you know that your purpose is a problem to the devil, and that is why he will cause problems to you, then you are going to cover yourself in prayer. Then you're going to know how to approach this warfare. And then you're going to know that me not knowing the gift I have does not exempt me from or exonerate me from being attacked by the devil. So he will attack it whether I know it or not. So it's better I get to a place of light where I know this gift and use it. And when you use your gift, God blesses people, he blesses you, and then he even blesses you in your finances and in wealth and in mentoring the coming generations. I love you, and I hope that you can make these concerns your concerns and be able to dig through and let God open up your ears and eyes to listen and hear from him and get the clarity that only God can give you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Bahati comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 p.m. here on Spirit TV. Bahati, bringing you knowledge, wisdom, financial and personal growth, better relationships leading to your transformation and elevation.